You? Is anybody?
There's Molly, folks. That means your friends the Goldbergs are here. Brought to you by Does, the new kind of soap for everything in your wash. First, let's drop in on the Dozen family. What do you know? Daisy Dozen's written a play for her home economics club. Ma Dozen has promised that young Dickie will play the leading part. Dickie's complaining.
Ma, I can't wear this silly costume in Daisy's play.
Why not? You represent the spirit of Wash Day progress.
Imagine me standing in front of Daisy's club spouting, "Can't you see I am Does, D-U-Z. I'm the soap that's new. I do everything for you." That's drippy, Ma.
No, it isn't, Dickie. That's just Daisy's poetical way of saying Does is a new kind of soap, and it does everything for work shirts, towels, to rayon slips.
But, Ma, Daisy says I gotta wave this work shirt and recite, "Does gets work shirts clean as a breeze. There's no hard scrubbing. Does it with ease."
That's cute, Dickie, and it's true. I don't even need a bar soap anymore because Does gets the grimiest work shirts clean all by itself.
But, Ma, Daisy says I should wear a towel around my head, then point to it and say, "Look how wondrous white 'tis done by Does."
Now, dear, Daisy simply means Does is famous for whiteness. And she's right. I've never seen whiter washes.
But, Ma, Daisy wants me to wear one of her pink rayon slips. Great gleeps.
Now, Dickie, that's only to show how safe Does is for the colors you wash. You know, colors stay bright longer with Does.
Well, I'm not putting on any pink slip, even for Does. I'm wearing pants in this family and in the play, too.
Well, Dickie Does is a real He-Man soap on wash day. Yes, ladies, compared to other leading granulated wash day soaps, Does gives longer life to colors, plus unsurpassed whiteness and real cleaning power for the tough dirt. Does everything in your wash. And now the Goldbergs. Well, as if the whole world were conspiring to expose Molly's daughter-in-law and what she is and wants, a letter from the Red Cross arrived. And suddenly, Grace, in a fit of hysterical fear, demanded the letter, even though it was addressed to Rosie. Now, we know that what Grace fears more than anything is a letter from Sammy Goldberg, just the way we know that what she wants more than anything is the check which she got from Rosie. This check and George fit into Grace's plans for the immediate future, and a letter from Sammy or anyone connected with him does not. So Grace demanded the letter, and Molly, despite all her suspicions, suddenly told Rosie to give the letter to Grace. Now, listen.
Rosie, give me the letter.
Ma.
Give me
Molly.
the letter. Here, Grace.
Ma.
Molly.
Here's the letter from the Red Cross, Grace. If there's anything in this letter you don't want us to know, maybe it's better if we don't know it. Take it. Here.
Ma,
Silence.
If that letter pertains to Sammy, why shouldn't
Why
she...
didn't she open it in my face? Why? Because something she's hiding.
What?
What? I don't know. But something. Close the window. It's raining in on my curtains.
It's not raining, Ma.
So what do I hear?
It's the brook.
The brook is babbling.
Molly,
Take, please, let me sit quietly. Let me sit quietly.
if what you think is so, I want it hashed out now in this minute.
Where are you going, Pa?
I want George here. If Mama has it in her mind that Grace and George are just two cheap confidence people, then I want to know it.
I know what I think, Jake. I know very well what I think. Would that I didn't think what I know. It's not only a question of George and Grace.
It's a question of the check she has.
That also not.
If this is not and that is not, what is not?
You're going to George, so go.
And by the time I get back, make up your mind what it is and what it is not. Please.
Mama, darling, now we'll never know what was in the letter.
We'll know.
How?
How? If we don't know immediately, we'll know sooner or later. Rosalie, the sink is dripping. Close the faucet.
It's not, Ma. You're just nervous.
If I'm nervous, then let be silent. Then let be silent. Don't talk and don't ask me questions. Don't talk, Rosalie. Just let me sit quietly. Let me sit quietly. Here, take my apron. Here, put it away in the hamper. Put it away. Why, what could be in the letter? What could be in the letter from the Red Cross?
But why can't I go and ask Grace what was in the letter?
Because.
Why because, Ma?
Because. Because I wanted to be silent and I want to wait. I'm biding my time. I'll know what's in the letter without seeing the letter. The Red Cross would know nothing about George. How would the Red Cross know something about George? It's something between Sammy and Grace that is not what it should. There's more. There's more than just George,
Well, then let
Rosalie.
me go up, Ma, please.
No, stay as
Ma,
you are. As
please.
you are and where you are. Don't move a finger, don't move. Please.
Mama, darling, how can you just sit there and not know? At least we'll know that Sammy's well.
Samuel is well. Don't worry, Rosalie. Samuel is well. If Samuel wasn't well, there are other ways we'd know, not only from the Red Cross. Letters come from elsewhere. Rosalie, maybe call Masha. See if Papa's coming over together with George, or what is occurring there, if anything, or what.
I think Grace is coming downstairs, Mama.
Then I want silence, Rosalie. I want perfect silence. Grace? You're packed? Where are you going?
I'm leaving. Here's the letter. Sammy must have the good tidings. By now he must know he's going to be a father. And don't forget when you write to him to tell him how trusting you all were, how much faith you had in his wife. I wanted to stay here. There's nothing more in the world that I wanted to be than a daughter to you, but it needs more than my wanting to make it happen. Much more, and until Sammy gets home, I know it'll never be the way I hoped and wanted it to be. Well, I can wait. I'm not even angry. I'm only unhappy. Only sad knowing that it may be years before we can see each other and be what we should be to each other.
There's nothing more in the world that I wanted more, Grace, than that you should be my real daughter, and I should be your real mother. I tried. Believe me, I tried. I tried with all my might. I tried with all my main.
But you were suspicious and you were unkind even if you didn't want to be.
I kept suspicions from my mind. I drowned them out. I hid them away. I didn't want to think of them. Remember, Grace, don't forget so easily now because you're angry. Don't forget, darling, that I did all in my power. I did more. I loved you, and I still want to love you. I'm only trying to be sure that you're everything I want you to be. And if I'm wrong, and I hope I am, well, children must forgive their parents for mistakes as often as parents forgive their children. Jake?
Jake. Why are you packed, Grace? Where are you going?
Where's George, Pa?
You went for George. You too, Dad. I thought you trusted me and loved me. Well, it's better if you feel the way Mother does and Rosie does. It's better, much better for me to leave than to stay on here and help divide my husband's house. Now you can all agree on condemning me. You can all be united in that until Sammy comes home, and then you can all change together. George? So this is the big scene that's been arranged. I didn't think you'd stoop to this, Dad. The big scene trying to force a confession out of me as if I were a thief or something. You know what they think, George. They think we're lovers. They think we came here together with only one thing in mind, with a plan to fool people and get money out of them. They didn't even give me a chance from the very first day. First, Rosie suspected me. She went around trying to build up a case against me, and I knew it. Oh, I knew it all the time, and I kept silent. I hoped that common sense and common fairness would convince Rosie, but the result was the opposite. She turned Mother's love and Dad's into a nasty suspicion. They took the whole idea of why I wanted the money and made it into a condemnation of me. Money, only money. That was an easy thing to hang a suspicion onto. That was an easy way to lose trust and lose faith and make me into a monster.
Grace.
That was an easy way to forget who I was and what I wanted to be to them.
Grace,
Everything
please.
became the check.
Grace.
The check became the very thing on which every action was to be judged. Money was everything. All right, then. Let money be everything. Let the check be the test if you have to have tests to prove what a person is. You see, Rosie, I don't want your money. You can have it for your education. You need it. I just hope they teach you the things you have to learn about people and life. See? I'm tearing it. I'm destroying it. And I hope I'm destroying every evil thing that grew up here under your suspicions. But I can't stay here anymore. I couldn't. I mustn't. George, please. George, get your car and take me to the train.
Well, Grace must be frightened indeed to tear up the very thing for which she schemed so much. For, of course, with the check gone, destroyed, her reason for staying ends. But the reason for her coming in the first place is not yet altogether clear, as we shall see. You know, we all value friendship pretty highly, don't we? Take Daisy Dozen. She really values her pal Donald's friendship. Daisy said,
I told Donald I couldn't get along without him any more than I could get along without Dawes. Gosh, that's devotion.
oh, you bet, Daisy. And ladies, you'll be just as devoted to Does for dishes. Yes, this new kind of soap does everything in the wash and has everything for dishes, too. Does make suds that stand up till the last dish is done. Cuts grease like 60, yet it's kinder to hands than any other leading granulated wash day soap. Notice how nice your hands feel after doing your dishes. And watch how those suds stand up. No need to keep adding soap to finish the greasy pans. And Does cuts grease without any hard scouring. Oh, you'll like Does. It has everything for dishes. And here's a wartime request. Don't waste Does. All soaps contain vitally needed war materials. So always soak pots and pans first in clear water. See to it every bit of Does you use does more. Be sure to listen to the next episode of The Goldbergs, written for you by Gertrude Berg. The time for departure, in fact, the very moment of departure, arrives. But Molly is really confused now. This is Clayton Collier speaking and reminding you to do as the Dozens do. Let Does, the new kind of soap, do everything in your wash.